A huge swath of announcements dropped on Thursday in regards to release dates for big movies over the next couple of years. And well, a bunch of studios made a bunch of adjustments, but the crown jewel on there is, of course, the one movie that is going to be a surefire hit and its trepidatious follow-up. Yes, we're talking about Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars getting kicked down the road a little while longer. And to be completely honest, man, for everything that we're hearing coming out of Doomsday, this is the most likely outcome. Okay, it is something that everybody could see coming from a mile away from them, filming when they don't have a completed script while they're trying to work in characters that still haven't signed on the dotted line, not really knowing what they're doing in the future after this two-part extravaganza. Yeah, everybody could see this coming. Okay, the fact that we're sitting here, okay, Memorial Day long weekend of next year, you were supposed to get Doomsday, and now it's going to be moved down until December. We'll get the specific date, at least what is announced right now. It makes a whole hell of a lot more sense that they needed the additional time, and honestly, I'm totally fine with that. I'm still expecting this to be a total car crash, but if they can, redraft a little bit, or maybe get a completed story committed to script before they put it to film, that would be good. That would definitely be a start. If they could figure out who's actually going to be in what film, that could be even better. Okay, that's normally stuff that, if you weren't trying to put like a half to $750 million on screen for these projects, which I could, at the end of the day, end up being underselling how expensive these two movies are going to be. That was something that, you used to do in the past. Back in the old days, you would finish scripts and you would properly cast your movie before you started to go into production. But I don't know, that's not paying homage to that Marvel magic that has worked out so well, in the past. It's not in recent history. But yes, Avengers delayed. Yes, full stop. Doomsday getting pushed to December of 2026, and Secret Wars heading off to 27. But yeah, that's not the only thing that was announced, okay? Because Paramount reschedules a trio of animated releases. Paw Patrol, the Dino movie, previously set for July 31st, 2026, move up to July 24th. Nickelodeon's The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, set for January 30th, 2026, moves to October 9th, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my god, is that a continuation? That cringe-ass fucking Seth Rogen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie heads to September 17th, 2027. Thank god, you should just go ahead and cancel that shit, because ugh. And of course, Lionsgate. This is a movie that I could be interested in, okay, because this actually has the Jackson family behind it, and it's going to actually, tell the real story. Shout out Razor Fist for his work on this stuff. But yes, Lionsgate confirms it may split Michael Jackson biopic into two movies as release is pushed. Because they apparently have like 3.5 hours of workable footage. So yeah, if they want to properly flesh everything out, I'd be totally behind that. At the end, you want to look at the music library. When you look at what Michael Jackson was able to deliver in terms of music and contributions to art, whether or not they can fit into one movie comfortably or not is a question that we are absolutely asking. We'll be ready to answer more specifically in the coming weeks. Yes, splitting it into two films. And as it sits right now, you won't be seeing it until fiscal year 2027, which doesn't start until May 2027. So yeah, I thought it was tentatively released to come out this year, but 2 years down the road. But back to Avengers and back to Disney in general, because with the shuffling of the Avengers deck, there's a lot of other Marvel cards that end up getting moved around as a consequence. So the Avengers will need a few more months to assemble. Disney has delayed the release of a Marvel Studios' upcoming team-up feature, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Doomsday is now set to debut December 18th, 2026, moving about 7 months off its originally slated May 1st, 2026. I thought it was Memorial Day, but anyways, to match, to follow up Avengers Secret Wars is moving. Okay, yeah, this one's important. In December 17th, 2027, and previously, being set for May 7th, 2027, in which I think they're probably also going to be looking at how well Doomsday performs, and there could be some changes made as well the Secret Wars, pushing that even further into the future. Christ almighty, man, I'm just looking at those dates. It's like, holy fuck, we're planning that far ahead, huh? Disney announced both Avengers delays Thursday afternoon alongside a sweeping reorganization of its coming theatrical slate. Notably, the new calendar saw the studio remove several unannounced Marvel titles off its calendar. Yeah, because here's the thing, man. Marvel ain't doing so shit hot, okay? But I felt like Thunderbolts was like a big return to form, and Captain America Brave New World made back its budget, and everybody loved it at the time, and now that it's hitting streaming, all of the shills are going, I don't know why more people didn't turn up to the theater. This is so great. I love the part where, well, the little Mossad agent beats the brakes off of those, grown-ass man. No, that's so great. But, I mean, you take a look at Thunderbolts on the Wednesday before Memorial Day, and the most recent numbers that we have don't quite have Thursday numbers, at least at time of recording, but it has, fallen back behind Sinners, Final Destination, and it's going to get its ass punched out both in the amount of screens it can play in and in sheer box office receipts. So, yeah, the Thunderbolts, I mean, the $160 million, or if you take a look at its full haul, I mean, it's finally a return to form. This right here, this is good Marvel. We're so back. This is peak. It's not going to hit $400 million. And even, some of those projections, it is now firmly in the bottom half of that stuff. Internationally trailing behind the Eternals, and domestically also trailing behind Captain Black Falcon America, man. Nobody's going to remember the Thunderbolts. It's going to collapse, very likely falling into, 5th, maybe even 6th place, depending on how many screens it loses, because, it's losing its IMAX theaters. The Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch is going to be taking a ton of those screens. We'll see what happens with Minecraft and The Accountant, too, because they also have quite a few screens, and if Sinners continues to hold, I mean, what would be the incentive to hand off any of those theaters to anybody else? It's going to be interesting to check out, but I don't think Marvel makes these decisions, okay? They could have probably got Doomsday out, okay, if Marvel looked like it was going to be in a good spot. And potentially, maybe move Secret Wars still to May. Okay, you could have done that and just focus your production squarely on Doomsday if everything was in a good place. But maybe they realized that, because we just recently sent Fantastic Four back for reshoots to flesh out the Silver Surfer. Thunderbolts ain't really hitting that hard, even though the media is just saying, guys, this is fantastic and it's doing so well. And we've had flop after flop, and the only thing that we can really hang our hat on is these big team-up movies. Yeah, we really got to get this one right, huh? That's why they had to shit can some unannounced projects and push a bunch of other stuff further into the future, which is, boy, it's interesting, huh? Okay, so the date, February 13th, 2026, previously slotted for an untitled Marvel project, has been removed from the schedule. Meanwhile, the dates of November 6th, 2026 and November 5th, 2027 also were previously set for untitled Marvel features, have been amended to untitled Disney films. Those changes, Avengers Doomsday and Sony's Spider-Man Brand New Day are now the only Marvel Cinematic Universe entries slated to hit theaters in 2026. And this is going to be interesting, right? Because now Brand New Day, when it ends up dropping at the end of July next year, that's the film that was apparently supposed to explain why Spider-Man wasn't going to be in Doomsday, because these were supposed to be, at least from some plot leaks that I've heard out there, these are supposed to be stories running concurrently, so that's why Spider-Man isn't supposed to be in Doomsday. He's very likely and very much, and I'm sure he's probably not going to be the only Spider-Man to turn up in Secret Wars, but that was going to be the reason why he wasn't in Doomsday. And so, are they going to have to rework some stuff going on there, or are they still early enough in production where it's not really anything that they have to worry about amending too greatly? But yes, after July 23rd, July 25th, right? After Fantastic Four First Steps, which is still waiting for those early projections on that one. That's going to be fun to watch. There is nothing, okay? There is, I think, one series that's on deck. Okay, you got Wonder Man that's dropping, I think, before the end of the year, but Marvel has nothing after Fantastic Four. The next thing up, right? Yeah, July 31st, 2026, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's the MCU's biggest gap between feature films since the Coof. Okay, so now we have to include it between, Far From Home dropping in 19, and then 2021's Black Widow, another reshuffled disaster that wasn't supposed to kick off Phase 4, but hey, Marvel has a plan, guys. You got to trust the process. But Disney has kept a few flags planted in 2028, which I'm sure won't get changed. Untitled Marvel feature for February 18th and May 5th and November 10th. Marvel, Studios has previously announced titles like Armor Wars and Blade, but the scuttle behind the scenes on those is, they're both scrapped, okay? Don't look forward to Armor Wars and Blade. Yeah, that shit's as dead as the vampires that Blade should be hunting. Like, that's a slam dunk proposition. They're so fucking dumb over there at Marvel that you can't even get a vampire hunting movie done right. You're just a dumbass company, man, but it's a multitude of reasons as to why everything got changed, okay? It's not finishing the script. It's not having everybody signed on. And it's also, there's the harsh reality that Marvel's VFX workers ratify first union contracts as Disney faces fallout from post-crunch culture allegations. So we all know, and especially with a bunch of those geriatric actors that they're bringing back from the old Fox X-Men days, there's going to be a lot of CGI help, okay? And what was it recently we found out that the quantum realm suits that all of the Avengers were wearing in Endgame were all CGI? It's like, you couldn't employ a costume department to give them suits. You had to CGI that shit. Dude, it's so wild how CGI used to be used as an amplifier. It used to be used as a tool and not a crutch like it is in so many Marvel productions. So the reason Doomsday and Secret Wars and a bunch of that other shit got bumped and then also knocked off is because, now those guys down there in the, VFX mines, they unionized, somewhat justifiably. Like, I hate unions with a burning passion, like Hassan hates a certain group of individuals. But in this case, the way that Disney treats their employees, I can kind of understand. But there's that problem. But then there's also something pointed out by the only guy that has created something competent under Disney's banner in, just about a decade? Okay, and he's pointing this out appropriately. Andor creator explains why he believes Marvel is in decline. It's so sad that he's never going to be allowed to do anything ever again. Okay, there's never going to be good Star Wars again. There's a very, 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 very slight chance that Marvel can turn it around. But after the success of Andor and Tony Gilroy not being kept on to do other things, I mean, it's all dead. There's no reason for hope. But the man's is right. When he's right, he's right. Andor creator Tony Gilroy recently shared his thoughts on why he believes Marvel Cinematic Universe is in decline. Speaking to Slash Film, Gilroy first detailed why he decided to eschew the initial buddy cop pitch for the show. In the show, it's perfect. K2SO's late introduction was something I always intended, the version that they had for the show prior. They were slick and they were interesting. Oh, I wonder who came up with this pitch. Was it a certain wolf enthusiast with a gay cowboy hat? I'm just wondering. They were not bad, but they had a fatal flaw, it seemed to me, which is if that's your show, that we're going to storm the Citadel in the pilot. What are you going to do in episode 9? What do? You're just going to keep getting the disc. Oh, yeah, exactly, because you take a look at a lot of the other Star Wars slop that's out there, okay, because I'm far more versed in when it comes to those D+ Star Wars shows. There's a lot of MacGuffin chases that are out there, okay? Specifically looking at Mandalorian Season 3. How many Monster of the Weeks? How many suddenly pterodactyls? How many goofy-ass lake creatures that just pop up in order to send Mandalorian on his goofy-ass quest to get a circuit board, but then first he has to help this little town defeat a crate dragon, and then he'll get the part that he needs in order to fix his ship, but in order to fix his ship, he also has to go off-world to rescue a gecko, and it's just all so stupid. But Tony Gilroy is pointing out something very important. He then applied that thing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, trying to get the, what do they call it? I can't remember the name of the box. What's the fucking name of the box in the Avengers? What did they go in for? The Tesseract, right. That's why all those Marvel movies, that's what they all are. And that's why they fail. I mean, they're just constantly, if that's all you're doing is to trying to get the Tesseract. Yeah, exactly. The idea that the MCU is failing because it uses MacGuffins is completely absurd. Oh, well, that's your commentary over the top of it. I mean, he's just talking about the fact that they just legitimately keep on running back the exact same plot with a couple of, different keys that they can jangle. It's all, oh yeah, go in there, defeat the villain of the week. That's why everybody said, even before everybody started to openly acknowledge that the MCU is shit, well, they have a problem with, introducing a villain and then just burning them off at the end. Yeah, because it's all the same plot over and over again. It's all the same beat the big bad at the end. It's all, oh, go ahead and acquire this in order to, defeat the opponent. He's right. He's 1000% right. It's boring ass, predictive, cookie cutter storytelling. And it's coming from the guy that A, made the one legitimate television show. I'm not even just talking for quality. If using rape in Star Wars, we should have a space word for that, is a little bit too much for you. I understand. I don't have to get it, but I can understand, because you think that Bix should have went up to that other Imperial officer that doesn't give a flying fuck about her and said, I got dank ferricked. Fucking children. But no. The one actual show that is structured like a television show. Something that is building towards a giant climax, instead of just bottle episodes and key jangles and look at that, we got the starship blowing up stuff, and Moff Gideon didn't make it to trial. What the fuck are you talking about? He didn't make it to trial. He's in your custody. How did he break out? Oh, don't worry about it. We got Mandalorian stormtroopers. Oh, you guys are just so fucking dumb. But hey, I want to say that he's stupid for pointing out, just the fatal writing flaw in the MCU and why it's gone to shit. You go ahead and say that Andor isn't real Star Wars. You go ahead and say that he's just a pretentious, fart-huffing dickhead that doesn't understand what it means to tell a fantasy story. But when he's right, he's fucking right. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Cotswell. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.